from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. I am channeling the Twin Flame Collective, the forecast for the week ahead. And what I want to say is the pressure is kind of mounting. Everything is kind of rearing its ugly head is what I feel. We're in this powerful eclipse gateway, and there's going to be a lot of triggers. There's going to be a lot of misunderstandings. There's going to be a lot of karmic attachments and intensifying like energies in those karmic attachments over the coming weeks. And so the energies are very, very intense. And so this new moon eclipse is at 29 degrees Aries. It's on the cusp of the Taurus energy. And in 2 weeks after this eclipse, we're going to have another eclipse, a full moon in Scorpio. And so what I want to say is we're definitely not out of the woods yet. But I feel there's going to be all kinds of ruptures, all kinds of breakdowns and tower moments in order to bring forward a lot of sudden changes. So we can free ourselves from what is not true, what is fantasy, and what it really isn't good for our soul and this twin flame journey. And so we also have Mercury going to go retrograde the very next day after that new moon eclipse energy. And so Mercury goes retrograde, forming a conjunction to Uranus. So get ready to rethink and reconsider everything that's kind of taken place recently in order to prepare us for these new earth cycles. And so I do think the energies are a little bit confusing. I don't think that full clarity is going to be achieved until about the end of May, when we get to the new moon in Taurus in about a month's time. And so these powerful eclipse gateways and in the simultaneous Mercury retrograde energy working together is saying this has already been building. This pressure has already been building, unearthing all of these deeply seated challenges around childhood wounds. And there was a huge tower in my own life last night. Once again, that childhood wound with my oldest daughter, Kenzie, and she lashed out. And now I have a bunch of damage control to do. And I got a big mess to clean up because she lashed out with all of this pressure building. She's also a Libra moon, and so what I want to say, the next few weeks are not going to be easy for anybody. It doesn't matter where you're at on the journey, how centered, aligned, and grounded you are. This is a huge transformative period for immense changes coming up here. And so there's a couple important things we need to remember, right? When we're going through these very intense, challenging times, is that it is always conspiring to help us. Our higher self is always guiding us towards the better pathway, along with your twin's higher self. So there are energies in the background working to help us through these challenges, although it's not going to be easy. And so there's going to be a lot of hardships coming up. And so this is to trigger the awakening of that cosmic truth as to where you need to be directed for your highest good during this eclipse gateway. And so this is the first major cosmic event of the week, is the eclipse gateway. Although the day before the eclipse, we do have an aspect with the sun sextile the north node. And so this is all going to be related to the subconscious mind, the domains of the moon. And so I talk about this a lot. The south node is our comfort zone. It is our subconscious motivations. We do have the south node in Scorpio, and so there's a lot of darkness coming forward stemming from the past, and where you have this inclination to cling, even though maybe a relationship, a job, or a home life situation is no longer relevant or appropriate. And so we can't stay stuck in these negative situations. The north node is saying, hey, it's time to figure out your pure conscious motivations in the Taurus energy. What do you value? What are your morals? And how can you bring this into a new future timeline? And so there's a lot of unfoldment and changes within personal psychology. So if you are a Taurus north node, I do feel these energies are going to be very intense. And if you are also an Aries north node, this eclipse energy is coming in to activate the Aries North Node collective, and the North Node is going to shift into Aries. I believe it's like July 17th or something like that. And so that's what I'm saying. These eclipse energies can play out for the next 6 months. But I do feel all of these energies are bringing forward an important significance, especially with Saturn's involvement. So any problems, limitations, and restrictions that Saturn's put on is going to highlight these unhealthy relationships. And so a lot of family knowledge, family understanding when it comes to these ancestral patterns. And so the Taurus North Node is saying it's time to develop a sense of self-reliance. We cannot be codependent on people. There's a lot of past energies coming up. Maybe it's stemming around family issues, a father or a mother. But this is where we have to approach the spiritual journey with a level of maturity. We have to learn to take responsibility for exactly where we're at. We can't make any changes until we accept what it is that we've created, what isn't working, what can be utilized to step into the strongest aspects of self when it comes to mastering self-discipline. And so there's a lot of sorting out is what it feels like. Organization, reorganization, patience is going to be required. And Saturn is known as like the Lord of Karma, this taskmaster bringing forward these challenges. So challenges could be arising this week, stemming around health problems, or, you know, struggles in life related to the house of Saturn. So you might want to pay attention to where Saturn falls in your chart, or wherever you have Pisces energy. And so this is where that power struggling dynamic came in with my daughter. She's a dark moon Lilith in Pisces, and I'm a Pisces rising. And so as I step into my most authentic essence, it triggers her dark moon Lilith. And so struggles, right? Struggles when it comes to which house Saturn is affecting your natal chart. And so we can no longer take the easy road, or, you know, the easy way out. We kind of have to address these issues once and for all. And so the eclipse energy is coming in, and it's going to be a big, big day. And all of these energies are kind of building. And so how can you harness a strong, aligned sense of Aries energy and Taurus energy? Look to where Aries and Taurus is in your chart, because this eclipse gateway is going to last until the end of May. And so this is the first solar eclipse. And so what this eclipse is bringing forward is a breakdown, a breaking of the hexes, a breaking of the curses, a breaking of the illusions, and dispelling them. And so a lot of immense spiritual tests are coming up this week. So we can master our true spiritual strength. So we can harness the drive and the motivation to keep pushing ourselves, to choose ourselves first and foremost. The journey is a journey of self. The outer people serve as a catalyst to awaken you to yourself first and foremost. The journey is always about self first. And so everything I feel is like hitting a breaking point. There's going to be like a bottoming out energy in certain aspects of your house. And the purpose of these eclipse energies are to get you to truly decide to align with what will serve you, what is best for you. How can you align with friendships and partnerships that will allow you to reach your highest potential this lifetime? And so what I want to say, like the 7th house too in the astrology is the house of open enemies, hidden enemies. And so likely, you know, coming to a realization that you have been your own worst enemy, that you have been limiting yourself and taking your own self down by limiting beliefs and limiting self-talk, or dealing with people that influence you to lessen your power or belittle you, and then that is like rooted in the subconscious mind. And so even if your twin soul has been the one bringing you down, I think a big lesson on the journey is people need to rise up to meet us where we're at. I'm all done lowering my vibration to fit in somewhere. And so the journey is also always about alchemizing your own inner unity first and foremost by choosing yourself. And by choosing yourself, you choose a healthy state of well-being. You prioritize your needs, you prioritize self-care, and you prioritize your divine path and honoring your mission work. And then knowing that the rest kind of falls into place and will follow. And so depending on where Aries is at in your chart, Saturn could be bringing a gift. This new moon eclipse could be bringing a gift. So look to where Aries is in your housing side. For me, it is in my 2nd house of money finances, and self-worth. Where is Taurus at in your housing side? So this is also where you need to learn to set strong boundaries within these housing aspects. If you have not done that yet, I think the boundaries are going to be set with a vengeance this week. And you might get called stubborn. You might get called selfish this week for doing what's best for you. But this is what the universe is guiding us to do. What is best for you? What do you need to protect to bring this potential into your own physical world and reality? Because the journey ultimately ends and begins with you. You have to wake up and look in the mirror at you every single day. The person that you have to spend the rest of your life with is you. Do you even like who you are? Right? And so all of this energy is saying you have the power to create your own reality. But if you are not well aligned within, everything outside is going to be distorted and challenging. And so this is like the cusp energy, Aries and Taurus, when it comes to self and other, because Taurus does represent the Empress. It also represents the Hierophant and higher institutions. And so that full moon in Libra, in between this double full moon or double new moon portal, was about self, and that smack dab in the middle was the Libra full moon to highlight the imbalances within these relationships. And so how can we bring it back to self and be that bridge where we can honor our individuality and stay in a partnership and not lose who we are? And so there's a fine balance between self and other, right? And so there's a lot of immense sudden changes, especially when it comes to relationship connections, how we approach relationships and partnerships. And so we are in this intense portal of a brand new beginning, but we can't take the past with us into the new beginning. So the cosmic energies for 2023 is all about truth seeking and releasing the past once and for all so we can have the new higher beginning. But we can't release the past without facing the past, closing out cycles, and having an understanding of the role we've played within these negative cycles within relationships. So Aries is asking us to be brave, to be bold, to release whatever you've been attached to, because ultimately we come into this world naked and we leave this world with nothing. So mastering the art of detachment is also a big part of the journey. An attachment to a person, an attachment to places, people, and things, so we can step into what truly serves us. So we got room for that to kind of show up. Do you even have space for what you've asked for to show up? So all of these karmic attachments and relationships, and it doesn't have to be a lover, and twins have a lot of karmic attachments that they have to clear and reconcile when it comes to past life soul contracts that we're here to close out this lifetime. And so the next 3 weeks are going to be very massive, intensive shifts for both the Twin Flame Collective and our life in general. So with Saturn and Pisces also forming a sextile to the North Node in Taurus, this also kind of ties into the eclipse energy. And so the eclipse is going to deal with a lot of karma and a lot of past life karma and a lot of past life attachments and soul contracts. And non-current life aspects, right, of the twin flame journey. And so I feel the masculine might find himself re-evaluating a lot of relationships right now. He's been shown what it is that he needs to release when it comes to these outworn connections. Hello, Brittany, welcome in. And so I feel on some level, the feminine's already graduated the lesson. The feminine's already kind of learned the lesson. And I'm hearing that song, I think it's by Caitlin Turner, You Don't Know What It's Like. And so there's still a lot of residual emotions coming up for the feminine, even though we've already learned our lessons. So you might want to go and listen to that song. I know it resonated with me the last couple of weeks. You don't know what it's like. And so unless you've been on the journey, you don't know what it's like. And so I feel Saturn is saying there is a new chapter here. The feminine's already graduated. She's ready for the next chapter. And I think the feminine's at this point where I'm all done waiting for the masculine to play catch up. And so we have this square between the sun eclipse and Pluto in Aquarius. And so this is going to be where a lot of the challenges come from. It's going to bring up a lot of power struggles, and that's what it was like with my 12-year-old. So I know at like 12 years old too, that's when we have our first like run-in with this Saturn energy. Hello, Sophia. Welcome in. I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay. I'm running out of options to get videos out here. But so like usually we have our first involvement with Saturn at 7, and so I know the next 2.5 years are going to be challenging with my oldest daughter, with her Lilith in Pisces and my Pisces rising. And so all of these issues kind of have to surface, right? So there's going to be a lot of power struggles when it comes to control issues. I'm glad you can hear me, Sophia. So this involvement with Saturn and Pluto, there's going to be a lot of feelings of it's going to be impossible to get over these challenges and obstacles. I know a lot of us are feeling very unsupported. I'm kind of bummed out because all the money I'm going to be earning this week is going to be spent on buying my daughter a new bed frame and replacing her bedroom door. Because when she blows, and Kenzie's got a temper. I'm feeling a little bit unsupported when it comes to the parenting aspect. So triggers are there for a reason, right? So why is that trigger there? Why is that challenge being presented? Because it is stemming around old karma. And so this is where I think Kenzie picked me as her mom, because I can understand her behavioral dynamics linked to her astrology. So with my South Node in Aquarius and her 7th house in Aquarius, there's some deeply rooted past life patterns here that her and I chose to heal together when it comes to this generational trauma. And so all of these triggers are coming up to clear, right? To clear these lessons. So I feel we're being shown the lesson. We're being shown how to embrace and harness our power this week, no matter how challenging it is. And no matter how difficult things are, just know that, you know, the universe didn't wish this hardship on you. Nobody would wish this hardship on anybody when it comes to the journey, but hardship is how we grow. We really don't grow when we're in our comfort zone and things are easy. And so we have to remember, at a soul level, we chose this twin flame journey this lifetime for a reason. As part of the process is harnessing our strength to go into these triggers, to reach into more of our spiritual powers. And so I do feel a lot of lesson learning. Doesn't really have to be a struggle, but if you resist the lesson, then that will bring a lot of misunderstandings. And so we've already been in the pre-shadow retrograde of Mercury and Taurus, and so it is dealing with relationships, commitments, values. And when Mercury goes retrograde conjunct Uranus, this actually is a very rare cosmic aspect and event. This is a huge reevaluation of relationships and foundations, to maybe rethink or reconsider what goes on in relationship connections, what we missed when it comes to misunderstanding. So I feel the masculine over the next couple weeks are going to be very confused. They will have clarity about what and who the universe has pushed them to release out of their life. And if they don't make those choices, I do feel like a ripping away. And so I feel the masculine is being represented with an opportunity when it comes to what he missed the first time around, or what he didn't fully take in, to make those adjustments. And so there is a lot of insights I feel on the feminine's aspect coming in about the masculine twin. And I always get a lot of downloads about the masculine collective when these energies are very intense. And so there's a lot of energies with the masculine twin too, bringing us forward important insights about where he's at. And so Mercury is going to sextile Mars on its way back into Aries. And so the masculine twin, I feel right now, as it kind of moves through Cancer, they're having a hard time in this watery feminine energy. And so they're in the energy of the mother wound. And they're in some deep emotions, and this is where they are being shown corrective action, and communication is needed for straightening out these challenges. Perfect. I'm so glad you found the video. Welcome in. And so the twin flame connection is about true unconditional love. And so a lot of the masculines sought out a lot of lustful desires. A lot of the masculines are looking to be taken care of like a mother. And most of the feminines are at a point where we're not looking for another child. We're looking for a man. We're looking for an equal. We're looking for a partner. And so this desire to be taken care of on the masculine's part is stemming from inner child issues where maybe they weren't properly cared for. And then they've carried this fear with them throughout their lifetime of unworthiness. And a lot of these masculines have not fully remembered who they are as a soul. And so there's a lot, I feel, of karmic untangling going on this week out of these karmic entanglements. And so a lot is being unraveled more and more and more this week so the masculine can understand more about his own truth during this gateway. And spring is a time of rebirth and renewal, and spring is a time of changes. And so I know at the beginning of my journey years ago, I didn't have understanding. I didn't have clarity. And as we keep going forward and doing the internal process and work, the clarity does come. But we have to be willing to release people that keep us stuck from receiving that clarity. And so I do feel like the cosmic wisdom that the twins hold is beyond our mental capacity and our ability to speak that into words. And so I do feel like the masculine is going to be required to clear all of these blocks that have kept him stuck. And so it is like the pressure mounting, ready to explode. And so it's feeling like this pressure cooker energy, and the masculine is having a difficult time accepting everything that's happening because of all the detours he kind of took to ignore the feminine and to run from the feminine. And so I feel the feminine's job this week is to step into your highest state of joy and love, and to trust that there's a higher power at work right now over the coming weeks with these energies. So we're going to pull in with some cards. I've already done the legwork and the prep work, and I'm going to break down the eclipse for each of the zodiac signs starting later today after my bookings that I work through. And so I'm going to use the same set of cards that I'm going to be channeling all of the zodiac signs. So we're going to start off with the Pure Magic Oracle deck. And I picked this because of the crows, and crows do symbolize death, rebirth, transformation, and pure magic pretty much. So we get the Banyan blessings. And so I do feel like blessings are coming in for the feminine. So a lot of the feminines have been in this hermit mode of expansion and building their own security and stability. And then we get the drawing down the moon. So this is divine feminine. You built a strong sense of foundation and security for yourself. And so you are a source and a channel of these energies. And so what you need to do this week is to be still and rooted in that foundation of self, and to trust that the blessings are coming. Ooh. And so we got, I cut the deck, and we still got that very hermity energy. Crows haunt me too, Sophia. The crow energy. I love the crows. And then we'll look at this. We get the burning man. So that's the collective power, the supreme prayer, the Three of Cups and celebration. So the masculine's rebirth by fire, the burning man, is kind of how I see that. And it's like the activation of the violet flame and burning through the karma is kind of what I see there. So we'll get 3 of these cards, and we'll see what's coming through for the twins for the week ahead. That was interesting. A single card on the bottom. Okay, we get Belladonna Visions. So I do feel the feminine's receiving a lot of guidance, but I want to say caution on what you bring forward. Not everybody needs to know your visions. Keep some of your visions to yourself. But there's a lot of clarity coming forward with this guidance. So you're asked to stand firm, Divine Feminine. It is a 28 breaking down to a 10. Stand firm as this cycle closes out. Ooh, we got the Hollowed Heart. It is a 3 card, well, 30, breaking down to 3. And so it's like this nakedness. The masculine's heart is being ripped open as all of this newfound information comes forward this week. So we get the snake energy, that is the Kundalini activation. So I do feel the feminine is just holding that light, holding that space. So stay centered, stay aligned, and hold that space. Stand firm in your boundaries as the masculine goes through the hollow heart. So a lot of release of this stuck emotions, and I do feel like nakedness with this secret information. The snake. So a realization too that he's been dealing with the snake. So we get the 30 and the 20. 5 is changes and challenges. And then on the bottom of the deck, we get the ocean's muse. So that's that Piscean energy, the Piscean ocean of Pisces and Saturn. And so there's a lot of wisdom in the emotions of the journey. And 34 does break down to a 7, which is truth and mysticism. And so it's like the feminines brought this light of this discovery forward. And so a lot of the masculines were enchanted by a false person, and I feel like a huge cleansing. And there's a lot of spiritual memories coming up from the past life timelines is how it feels. So let's go a little bit deeper, and we're going to clarify the Belladonna Visions card with the oh my god, what is this deck? The Crystal Stone deck. So we get Lemurian Quartz, and I'm going to get another one. So you really want to escape your mind this week, Divine Feminine. As the masculine goes through the breakdown of the mind, you're going to want to stay aligned. And so I do feel you're being asked to hold the space as your masculine goes through this awakening and this healing energy. And then we get the pyrite, and that came through in my last channeling. So a recognition of the fool's gold that the masculine chose over the real gold. And so you might find yourself needing a little bit more extra sleep this week, Divine Feminine, as the masculine awakens to his potential. But it's like the restructuring. So right now the energies are aligning you to your natural power, who to give your energy to and who not to. And so I also feel this is a prep work for some time together as well. So we're going to clarify the hallowed heart and the snake skin on the masculine side. So we got hematite. So that is a protection stone, a grounding stone, and it is the perfect energy for anybody stagnating. So the masculine, I feel, is about to get spun out of his comfort zone. It's like he's got this newfound crush on the feminine, this newfound awareness of this truth, seeing her clearly. And so this is bringing forward an existential crisis or dilemma, because it's time for the masculine to get grounded. So I do feel he's feeling stuck. And it is surrounding the moon cycles this month. So the masculine is going to need to find his energy to pull away from all of these bad people, places, and things. Is what I'm feeling there. Oh, that one went right on the floor. I got it. And then we get the orange calcite. So that is linked to the sacral chakra. So I do feel like the masculine's really been holding back when it comes to this proverbial blank slate. There is a blank canvas coming. There is a clean slate coming, but everything kind of has to bottom out and zero out. So the masculine can't take any of the old with him into this new cycle. So I feel breaking through the fog, breaking through the fear, and stepping onto the path of co-creation with the feminine is what it feels like. So they have to own their own creative process, and they have to take on all of this karma one page at a time as they unlock their creativity. And so we get Hiddenite on the bottom of the deck. And so I'm glad that you resonate with that. So I do feel we're on the precipice of claiming our happiness back once and for all. And so Hiddenite to me also represents something hidden. Something hidden coming to light. So yes, this is like a lot of triggers, a lot of bad tripping out. And so I kind of feel, because this is where I feel the karmic is aiming to stab the masculine in the heart. I do feel a lot of the karmics use the feminine as a weapon against the masculine to keep him in a state of fear, like saying things like, why would she ever take you back? She's too good for you. She's never going to take you back because what do you have to offer? And so This is where the masculine has stayed stuck in the past, focused, overly focused on, you know, the future that he's missed out on, is what I'm feeling. And so I do feel he's really stuck in a rut. And the only way out of this is love and getting real with that truth. And so there's been a lack of truth. There's been a lack of honesty. And the masculine can't get honest with anybody else until he gets honest with himself. And so I think the masculine's been watering himself down. And now it's like this big neon sign that says it's time to reclaim back your power, your energy from whoever you've been with that has kept you from this truth. So a lot of purifying powers are coming through this week. So let's jump in with the cards. And I am going to keep this short and sweet because I have a couple of sessions booked today. And I do want to get all 12 of those zodiac signs out before Thursday for you. So we get the Four of Swords in reversed and the Nine of Coins in reverse. So a lot of codependency issues. A lot of these masculines are afraid to be alone, is how I see that. And so it's like the masculine has resisted embracing this truth because of the fact that he's going to have to go into the depths of the heartbreak. Although he sees the truth, it's like he has to feel the truth. So I am going to do 5 cards, and then we're going to clarify and ground those 5 cards. So we'll see what we got coming through for the twins for the week ahead. And I will likely do a more in-depth twin message closer to the eclipse day. So this is just what we're prepping for leading up to this energy. So we have the Seven of Cups in reversed, rooted down with the Seven of Swords in reverse. Ugh. But I feel this is good. There's no more confusion, cutting through illusion, and this is exposure of manipulation. 5 of Swords in reverse this week is going to be very challenging. The Revealer, the High Priestess. We get the Death. Oh my goodness. Rooted down by the Sun. So Scorpio, Leo energy, Pisces energy. We get the Eight of Swords in reversed is what's hidden below the surface. So this is breaking free from these old paradigms, from this feeling of entrapment. And we are the ones that always keep us trapped. Ooh, and the Six of Coins upright. So I really like this energy. There is a rebalancing here. An acknowledgement of how to bring forward some type of reciprocation here. We get the Four of Coins, although I don't like that. That's a withholding. And the Hierophant reverse, the Proclaimer reverse. So there's definitely a holding on still, a clinging to control of the relationships that have kind of been upheaved or are about to be upheaved. There's still a holding on to an ending here. A bad decision. But what I like is the sun is coming in to illuminate what needs to die away. So that's really what's going on. So this might not fully play out until the Scorpio full moon, and then something about Leo season this summer. We're going to be back in this vibrant sense of vitality. But right now we've got coming out of confusion, coming out of disillusionment, and lies being exposed. And the lies being exposed are surrounded around some type of manipulation. The High Priestess is the keeper of secrets, too. I also feel the feminine is the High Priestess. And she has been fully aware of the manipulation. And so, remember, we seen that Four of Swords reversed. We got the Four of Swords kind of here. And it looks like 4 tombstones almost, and the Divine High Truth. So there could be 4 significant people that you're connected with going through a death process. I know for myself as a triple split soul, I had 3 significant twin flame catalyst connections and a karmic. And I'm still waiting on that karmic to be balanced with all 4 of those people. But I feel an awareness of this exposure. And there is going to be massive death and transformation. And this is connected to the twins. If you see the 2 twin towers on this death card, normally we don't see that on a death card to illuminate the path. And so clarity, a lot of third eye activation. So really look to where Scorpio and Leo is in your chart, because we're breaking free from these relationship cycles where there's not been equal giving and receiving. On this Six of Pentacles, they each have 3 coins. And so we have to break free from anybody that does not, you know, bring forward that equal sense of value. So what do you need to release? Because somebody's clinging on to an ending here, to a commitment here that has died away, and there's that lack of strength. But I feel like the rose-colored glasses have been removed with the Two of Swords in reverse, and I do feel what goes around comes around. And so this could be an ending of a long-standing commitment if your masculine's married and has resisted a divorce, or they've built a long time building a legacy. We got all of the fixed signs coming through again. And so somebody's not wanting to look clearly at this because the comfort zone was probably in the material comfort, right? The material aspects, and the moon is coming in and saying, hey, you're in an illusion. Yeah, you're in an illusion, right? And so we got to break free from these illusions. The masculine's getting a wake-up call. And then when we get the Apprentice of Swords, this is like the Page of Swords. It's time to dig a little bit deeper. It's time to embrace a higher level of learning. And so why do you want to keep watering a dead tree here? And so the masculine knows it's time to walk away. There's this big gaping hole in his heart, and the only person that can fill that big gaping hole is the feminine. And so oftentimes it takes somebody up to 7 times to fully break free from a karmic soul attachment. I know it took me years and years and several endings to finally cut cords with my karmic because of the deep soul tie and the triggers and the gaslighting and the illusions. And so I feel the masculine has tried to repair this karmic relationship, and they've you know, had several breakups and several large arguments and glued it back together, but there's like, you can't fix that hole in your heart, right? And so walking away as a champion. So walking away, I feel quickly leaving. The Champion of Swords is the Knight of Swords, and I feel like flying in with communication about this ending. So that's kind of what I see coming through for the masculine this week. And so we are shifting out of difficulty. My own homemade deck here. And this is about unconditional love. So we'll get a couple twin flame oracle messages. So massive changes in the wind, and it is all due to these cosmic energies. And so huge portal of energy clearing. And when we go through a clearing, everything in our vibrational field that no longer aligns with these new higher codes that we've integrated will have to leave. So how can you as the feminine open up the flow between you and your twin's energy within the chakra pathway? You're being asked to be patient. The situation does require more time on the masculine's end as he goes through all of these major changes. So the divine is working to bring forward those answers that we've all been seeking, to bring us what it is that we've asked for, because we are these warriors of light. And the twin flame mission is about unconditional love, not only between you and another person, but unconditional love between you and all of humanity and all of creation. So I feel meditation will serve a lot of us very well this week as we go through these challenges and this alchemy of heart. So a lot is alchemizing, and we do need to practice self-love, and that is part of mastering the co-creative journey. Ultimately, divine timing is at play, but we can speed up divine timing if we listen to ourselves and our own soul's guidance. So that's kind of what I got for the week ahead, guys. Keep an eye open for all the zodiac signs. I am going to have to record them live as I'm running out of storage space, so be patient. Might take me a little bit to get those all fully uploaded, but I promise I will get them all done by the end of day Thursday for the eclipse. Cutting cords with the counterpart is like near impossible. So when it comes to the cord cutting with the counterpart, we just have to clear the negative attachments, like the negative emotional attachments, which will always go right back to the heart, right? And so any lack of forgiveness, you cannot fully cut that cord with your counterpart. You're forever corded through the heart. Clear the negative lower attachments and get to a place of forgiveness is going to be key this week. And I know we go through many spirals of cutting cords and going through forgiveness. And we do that as many times as we need to get to that ultimate truth and state of alignment. So I wish you all luck for the week ahead. I look forward to seeing you all next time. I hope you all have a wonderful week and a wonderful day. Thanks, everybody.